Okay, this is a video for the KBear BElieve. It's a single dynamic driver, 9mm. It's touted as being pure beryllium. That's it right there. I had to cut it open because of what happened today. I was so impressed by its performance, and I was told things by people before I started listening that were counter to that, and so I didn't really expect much. Its price, it's the whole thing, and it turned out to really actually impress me. Let me give you an example. Paul Simon, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. The chord progression on this is, it's a beautiful song. It's got beautiful lyrics. Who's the drummer? If you're a drummer and you watch my channel, you must know the name of the drummer who played that iconic intro to 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. You must know who that is. Please name it. Don't go Wikipedia it. If you know it, go ahead and comment. The chord progression on the guitar and the bassist at some points is being played it's about the same. They're just pretty much copying each other. One is on a bass guitar, one is on a regular acoustic guitar. And on a set like I just listened to, which is the JQ4U, with the elevated mid-bass, the bassist play would overpower the quality of the guitar play on 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, because they were going at basically the same speed up and down. If you were watching them in video, their hands would be looking like they're going in the same spot, doing the same thing, though one is a bassist and one is a guitarist. It's a brilliant fucking song, but something that's got elevated mid-bass is not going to sound good unless it's got something special going on. And this has extremely elevated mid-bass, more than the JQ or a lot of other sets, but it doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sound like that on this song. I'm using music to be quite specific. So if you've got the set, you can go listen to this, and then go listen to a bassy set and see what I'm talking about. The quality of the guitar is highly degraded when the mid-bass is much elevated. That's this song in particular. When I listen to, do I wreck the set? Yes, I do. Good luck getting it, though, because it comes in batches of 20, I think, because getting the drivers is very hard for them. Listening to, I'll go ahead and talk about cymbals real quick. The 7-second, 13-second cymbal strikes are fucking perfect. Cymbal is a prominent, it's supposed to be, life and death. If either the life of it sounds abrupt, like it's starting halfway, or the death of it sounds like it's muted, like somebody hits it and then they grab it, but you know it's not supposed to, that'll stick out to you on a track that you know. I know how this sounds, and this sounds great. This was a very good thing because I start with this. Actually, I didn't. That's not correct. I started with Tupac Ambitions as a rider, and I thought that the bass was not that big a deal. So I switched off the silicone tips and I went to foam tips and thought it's still not that big a deal. I went back to the largest silicone tips, and then I thought that's pretty good, but that's nothing like the graph is showing me, which made me more of a believer that it was beryllium, because pure beryllium would make me feel like the bass is going fast, but not unnaturally fast, like in some other IEMs and like in headphones. The company that made the YBF earphones made Trans One or something like that, headphones that were beryllium, and I fucking loved them. I fell in love with them. That was really how I started to fall in love with beryllium, because I knew that I could up the bass and not get the mids killed. And it sounds great on this, so I started to believe. I looked at that word as I said that. Maybe that's why I said, I don't know. No pun intended. Then I went to the cymbals and they sounded good. And then I went to Blondie, Best of Blondie, Heart of Glass. Do you know the song? That cymbal in and what's the lyrics of the song? Na 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 na. Na na na, a heart of glass. Fucking love it. There's a girl that did a cover on it that I watched a couple nights ago. It's just fucking brilliant. Oh, I have YouTube. God damn it. Yeah, this is the one. Her voice is fucking amazing. You hear these keyboards and stuff? This can get on you in trouble. She's hot. She does this part great too. Fuck yeah, what a lame crowd, but that she did such a good job. Nina Schauman, Heart of Glass cover live at the American Lounge, Hollywood, California. 776 subscribers. She's hot. She sings like a fucking angel. Holy shit. Sounded great on this set. Trying to be very specific with you guys. The reason that this is open and cut out is because I stumbled upon something that I was completely unaware of. So I wrecked this set. I think it plays everything great. I'll get into it when I do comparisons, but I'm going to have to get another set because I cut it open. But that's a good thing that I cut it open. If it was like whatever, I wouldn't even have proceeded. This is the chart. I'll overlay this as I see this on the screen when I edit the video. I think that the mids are better than the Luna because of the upper mids of the Luna are just, they're heading towards crazy. The treble I think is better on the BElieve because the cymbals sound more natural and everything sounds good. Nina Schauman, Heart of Glass cover sounds really good. Blondie, the original version, sounds quite good. The stage is, Luna sounds reasonably large. It's not small, and BElieve sounds very close to it, so separating one over the other would be, I couldn't really tell the difference. Resolution's also very close. They're both very, very good, and that's down to them both having beryllium. Whether this is pure beryllium or this is pure. Let's hold up for a second. That this company is bigger, and so that's automatic because they charge more money, that's actually real beryllium, is not an automatic. I know of a company that's coming out of, I think, Colorado that's very famous and people like it, and they were using Belzing BAs inside and nobody knew about it. I also know of another company named after its maker, and I really like the guy because he talks about music a lot. And somebody in Japan on my Twitter opened it up because he does custom shells and discovered that some of the drivers, I think 1 out of 5, something like that, was Belzing, and that's not what's advertised on the site, and that's a very famous brand that old school people know about, and you know about too. I won't name them in here, but just because a company has a big name doesn't mean everything they say is true, and just because a company's small doesn't mean that they might be full of shit. Don't assume, man. Don't make assumptions. I'm assuming now that this is a company that's maybe being smart and taking a set that they are saying openly that they can only get in batches of 20. So if you want it, good luck. I would advise you to grab it quick because I don't know how long that's going to last. I live in Japan and they say they're getting it from Japan, and I'm not doubting them. I actually completely believe them. And they say that it's pure beryllium, and it sounds really good, and maybe they're driving people to their product line, their virtual store, because if they see this is a great deal but it's not available, they might look at other goods by that company. So it's like a panda at a zoo. Everybody comes to see when the panda comes to the zoo because they rent them out, but then you enjoy the whole thing. So if somebody says, I wanted to get the BElieve, but they didn't have it, but that other thing looks really good for $41, that's clever marketing. That's what Chi-Fi has been doing recently. The tribrids that they're offering, the Clairvoyance by Thea Audio is much, much more affordable than the Empire Years tribrid, and it sounds better than the Empire Years tribrid. Fuck your bullshit belief that money buys you sound quality. It's not true. It's not fucking true. If they are taking a very big cut and beating on the profit margin, if any at all, to get people to come in to see the rest of the library, then bravo to them because they're very, very clever. And for them to come out and say that they don't believe it's true without going to them first and asking them is unprofessional, and I saw that take place. The resolution, the tonality overall of the BElieve is much more natural because it doesn't have that major emphasis in the early treble. It sounds more normal. The bass sounds good. It was surprisingly subdued in the Ambitions as a Rider. It was there and it was decent. When I listened to Kendrick Lamar, Swimming Pools, Drank, that sounded good. I was like, okay, here we go. And then I listened to other music and I thought, this is really, really good. This is a trip. Can this really be? And then I fell into the rabbit hole. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off the full screen right now. This is a person named Delta Fire. I'm using his internet name because I don't know who he is, real or otherwise, but I'm giving him credit because this is his photo. This was a set that was advertised and reviewed by some people, BGVP DN2, as being a Beryllium set. Not pure Beryllium, but being Beryllium. And it's not true. I checked them, and they have not updated their... She's hot. They have not updated their views or opinions because of the driver change. I don't care if they think it's all about the music, because I'm more than anybody else on the internet about that. Truth in advertising. If somebody says you're getting this for that, it better fucking be this for that. And anything else is bullshit. And if it is, then they better apologize. And they did. And the commentary that came after this was pretty minimal. It kind of blows my mind because I didn't know that this even happened until today. And I went and checked the stuff on the internet, and people don't know because that stuff on the internet hasn't been updated. And I feel sorry for them because they're influencers, and the credibility is damaged when the credibility of what you promote as being good is damaged. It doesn't matter if the frequency graph says it's okay. If it's not a beryllium, it's not a magnesium coat, it's not a diamond-like DLC. If it's not what they say it is, whether it's Campfire Audio sticking out not BA that they claimed was in it and sticking a Belsing in instead, or whatever company, if it's not what they say it is, then they're wrong. And they should apologize. And they did, and I remember seeing them do one for the DM6 too, and maybe I didn't hear about this because they're not doing really well recently. But when I saw this, I thought, holy shit, this better be the real thing because I'm not sticking my neck out. It does sound great, but it's being billed as beryllium. It better fucking be that. So I cut it open. And it is. And now I have a set that I can't listen to. You're welcome. It was sent to me, so I didn't pay for it. And I'm not cutting the Luna open. But that's a nice driver. And I believe it's beryllium, and it sounds really good, and I recommend it if you're interested. I think it plays my library quite well. One more check at the Delta Fry credit. This is the graph. What I think the tonality is clearly superior to the Luna. The bass, the mids, the treble, stage and resolution. I would be making shit up if I said that they were any different. And then the graph. Much bass in the KBear BElieve. It doesn't sound like that. It's got treble that's actually quite good. It's got energy late. What a trippy day. Have you ever seen me cut open a set? Maybe back in the earphone days when I was doing like tests and putting stuff on top of the diaphragm, and I've never cut open a earphone before. I did that because of I stumbled onto this today by total accident. Thought, whoa, what? Another set being touted as beryllium being affordable, and it turned out not to be the case. I better cover my ass. Time to bust out the clippers. So I did. Bravo to this company for making a very good item at what I consider a reasonable price for its performance. I don't know how they do it. It's chi-fi. It's like I said, the tribrids that they do, and they can make and sell for, $685 for the clairvoyance, and you listen to something that's made by a company in America, in Atlanta, Empire Ears, and you think the Valkyrie's way more expensive. It sounds really bad. It's chi-fi. It's the massive amount of everything that they can do that is just overwhelming for companies. Really is hard, I guess. But I learned a lesson today as a reviewer. If something seems too good to be true, pure beryllium for $180, maybe it is. And then I saw something on the internet that was just a good example of it, so much that it caught some other influencers totally by surprise. They might not know it till they see this video, because people are busy. Why should they have to go back and look and see, hey, did that thing that I talked about turn out to be what I said it was? That's not the way this is supposed to go. What it says on the box is supposed to be what it is. That's automatic. And then everything else is where we throw our opinions in, and we use music. We say, this thing sounds good. This doesn't sound good. This is why I don't think that set sounds good. I think the Blondie, Heart of Glass, sounded great on it. Didn't sound too shiny or shimmery. There was no oddities with the treble. I thought that Paul Simon, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, sounded great in the low end. I love the drums. Who's the drummer? Tell me, please. I already know who it is. Please tell me. The guitar sounded fantastic. Paul Simon's voice sounded excellent. The cymbals on Aerosmith sounded fantastic. It's a very good set, and I wreck it. Good luck getting it, though, because it's about sourcing the drivers. So I'm out. What a trippy day. If anybody feels bad about this, tough shit. Seriously, I'm putting my name on something, on a video on my channel, and saying that I recommend it. This is if this is what it comes down to, then this is what it comes down to. I don't have the connection and communication that I have with some people to say, are you sure? Because I'm going to do a video and I'm going to recommend it. Please, if you're not sure, just say I'm not sure. I couldn't get any feedback from them till 5 minutes before I started to do this video, and they finally replied and said, yes, it is in fact pure beryllium. We're very careful and we make sure. Good enough for me. Plus, I just cut your thing open. I sent the picture to them in a chat, and there was no reply. So, okay, there we go. Took the bullet. Didn't cost me anything really, except for time to cut it open, because they sent it to me. So thank you for sending it to me. Good job. It's recommended. And I'm out.
Ripping shows live on stage for home, shelling my name to be precise, ripping mics.